Assalamu alaikum and good evening. You are watching HumSub.TV and I am Munib Hamid with the news. Belt and Road Initiative already yielding positive results, Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi on Wednesday said that the Belt and Road Initiative would create connectivity, linkages and boost economic growth in Central Asia, and its positive impact would already being faced by Pakistan. He was speaking at a panel discussion titled The Belt and Road Impact at the 48th World Economic Forum being held at Davos in Switzerland. Prime Minister Abbasi is on a two-day visit to attend the event on the invitation of Swiss President. The Belt and Road Initiative is envisioned to enhance connectivity across continents through infrastructure investment, cultural exchange and technological development, the Premier said. Pakistan, he said, recognized the initiative of Chinese President Xi Jinping, who had created global connectivity for tomorrow through his vision. Prime Minister asked to bring back Pakistani prisoner from Indonesia. Senate Functional Committee on Human Rights on Wednesday urged Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi to play his role in bringing back a Pakistani prisoner on death row in Indonesia. During a meeting at the Parliament House, Pakistan People's Party Senator Seher Kamran said Zulfikar Ali was arrested in 2004 in Indonesia after drugs were recovered from his roommate. He was going to be hanged in 2014, but then the Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif requested the Indonesian government to stop the execution, and hence the execution was delayed, she said. Senator Kamran said Zulfikar Ali was suffering from liver cancer and according to his medical reports, he had just 3 months to live. As Indonesian President Joko Widodo is going to visit Pakistan on January 26, the Prime Minister should request him to allow Zulfikar to spend the remaining 3 months of his life with his family, she said. The committee decided to write a letter to the Prime Minister to raise Mr. Ali's case with the Indonesian leader. Pakistan condemns unilateral United States drone strike. Pakistan on Wednesday condemned a U.S. drone strike deep inside its territory, targeting an Afghan refugee camp, and warned Washington that such unilateral steps would be detrimental to cooperation between the two countries in fight against terrorism. This was the first U.S. drone strike inside Pakistani territory over the past 19 months, the Foreign Office confirmed, as none of the over 12 attacks by the unmanned vehicle reported in the media during his period had drawn official condemnation from Pakistan's Foreign Office. DNA test admissibility as evidence, Supreme Court ruling may prove a hurdle in conviction in Kasoor case. DNA test report is not admissible as an evidence as per a ruling of the Supreme Court of Pakistan and the Qanun-e-Shahadat. Therefore, the investigation team will have to produce some other evidence that could corroborate the Punjab Forensic Science Agency's report of the alleged rapist and killer of minor girls in Kasoor to ensure his conviction. It transpired during background discussions with officials of the Punjab government who guide it on legal matters, both civil and criminal. A senior official said the Lahore High Court had in certain cases allowed DNA reports as evidence, but he too admitted that the restriction imposed by the Supreme Court in this regard could be a hurdle in the suspect's conviction. DNA test is considered an admissible evidence in most of the countries because of what the legal experts said, its basic function of irrefutability in identifying the involvement of a person in a crime. NAB chief seeks progress report on cases. Having completed 3 months at the helm of the Apex anti-corruption body, its chief has asked all the regional bodies under it to submit progress reports on complaints filed. National Accountability Bureau Chairman Justice retired Javed Iqbal has sought reports from the Director Generals of all the regional bureaus of the body on the actions they have taken on corruption complaints lodged by public in their respective regions since October 11, 2017. Justice Iqbal also sought a report on whether the complainants were told that their complaints were successfully received and work is in progress on them. In case of failure to issue receipts, the regional bureaus have been directed by the NAB chief to determine which officer or official was responsible. Pakistan and United States relationship should not hinge on Afghanistan, Foreign Minister Khwaja Mohammad Asif. Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif said he hoped Pakistan and the United States could soon focus on their bilateral relationship once again, rather than just through the prism of Afghanistan. President Donald Trump's much anticipated speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos is unlikely to do anything to improve bilateral relationships with Pakistan. We are a bit apprehensive from what we have been hearing from over the past 1 year. We do not expect any radical departure from what he has been saying, he said when speaking at the WEF. 95 detainees likely to face trial in Saudi Arabia for corruption. Saudi authorities are still holding 95 people in a purported anti-corruption campaign that was launched nearly 3 months ago by the kingdom's influential crown prince. A Saudi infographic shared on social media said the detainees who have not agreed on financial settlements to close their case will soon be referred to the public prosecution for trial. Billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal is reportedly among those still being held since early November, when Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman ordered the stunning arrest of top princes, businessmen and officials. The prince is chairman of the publicly traded Kingdom Holding, which has investments in Twitter, Apple, City Group and the Four Seasons hotel chain. Trump urges Erdogan to avoid clash with United States forces in Syria. President Donald Trump called President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey on Wednesday and urged him to exercise caution and to avoid any actions that might risk conflict between Turkish and American forces in Syria. The Turkish ground and air offensive has raised international concern, but Washington has sent mixed messages. The White House issued a statement that the United States was easing off its support for the Syrian Kurds. But later, the Pentagon issued a separate statement that Washington would continue to stand by the Kurds. And the White House announced on Wednesday that President Trump telephoned Mr. Erdogan and relayed concerns that escalating violence in Afrin risked undercutting our shared goals in Syria. CIA Director questioned in Special Counsel's Russia probe. CIA Director Mike Pompeo has been questioned by the Special Counsel's office investigating alleged Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election and possible collusion with President Donald Trump's campaign. The report comes 1 day after the Justice Department said Special Counsel Robert Mueller's office questioned Attorney General Jeff Sessions last week, a significant step in an inquiry that has overshadowed Trump's first year in office. Mueller's office also interviewed former FBI Director James Comey shortly after Trump fired Comey in May 2017. A person familiar with the matter has told Reuters. The firing led to Mueller's appointment to take over the FBI's Russia's investigation. Northern Ireland parties start final talks on sharing power. Northern Ireland's quibbling political parties gathered in Belfast on Wednesday for one last shot at forming a power-sharing government after a year of fruitless wrangling. Britain's new Northern Ireland Secretary Karen Bradley, in post since January 8, has given the 5 main parties a brief window to get a developed administration up and running. Previous rounds of exhaustive talks have floundered, with several deadlines having come and gone. Bradley said the parties had one last opportunity to reach an agreement with a shot in sense. In the absence of an executive, the British province has been run by civil servants over the past 12 months. Larry Nassar, Michigan State University president, resigns amid gymnast abuse row. The head of Michigan State University has resigned hours after sports doctor Larry Nassar was sentenced for sexually abusing young athletes. Lowe and Simon had been facing pressure to step down. Nassar worked at MSU between 1997 and 2016, also a former team doctor for the USA Gymnastics. He was sentenced to 40 to 175 years imprisonment after testimony from almost 160 women. Ms. Simon denied reports that MSU knew of the abuse claims but failed to act. On Wednesday, Michigan's House of Representatives overwhelmingly approved a resolution calling on Ms. Simon to quit. About 140 young women have filed a lawsuit against Nassar, USA Gymnastics and MSU, claiming the two institutions heard the pedophilia allegations against him years ago. The sports body and the school deny there was a cover-up. Myanmar pillories U.S. diplomat who called out Suu Kyi over absence of moral leadership. U.S. diplomat Bill Richardson was accused on Thursday of a personal attack on Myanmar's Aung San Suu Kyi after an excoriating takedown of the former darling of the global rights community as he resigned from a panel on the Rohingya crisis. Richardson, a one-time Suu Kyi ally, was one of the 5 foreign members hanged, picked by Myanmar's civil leader to serve on the committee. But after a 3-day visit to Myanmar, Richardson struck out at his host, saying he could not, in good conscience, sit on a panel he feared would only whitewash the causes of the Rohingya crisis. And now the sports news. FIA launched probe against PCB's logistics department. The Federal Investigation Agency Lahore has launched another investigation into the affairs of the Pakistan Cricket Board. A source in FIA told on Wednesday that it had started investigations against the officials of the logistics department of the PCB for taking commission from a tour operator for approval of contract. The FIA has summoned senior PCB logistics department officials Asad Mustafa and Maqsood Ahmed, as well as the representative of New Prince tour operators this week to record their statements in this regard, he said. FIA investigation officer Gohar Watu is conducting the inquiry. And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country. However, very cold weather conditions are likely to prevail in northern areas, Malakand and Quetta divisions. Dense fog is likely to prevail over plain areas of Punjab and Upper Sindh during night and morning hours.
That's all for now. For more news and updates, keep watching HumSub.TV. Take care.
Please subscribe to HumSub.TV and hit the notification icon on the screen to get the latest updates of our channel. Thank you for watching HumSub.TV.